Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jer, and we are going to be doing something a little bit different for the rest of the year. Starting today, I am going to be doing a new series incorporating the Drag Race Simulator, which is available online. You can Google it if you've never seen it before. It's a really interesting simulator where it can basically pull any queen from across the franchises and stick them in a scenario of your choice. You can either simulate a regular season of Drag Race or an All-Stars or one of the many different formats that we've seen. I'm going to be doing that and sort of playing around with these alternate universes that we'll probably never get to see but exist up here in my head. I will be tracking on my own who I think would win challenges, who I think would go home, etc., and we will compare it to what the simulator thinks. I hope y'all like these. I think this will be a fun little series to do throughout the year. And if there's any particular theme that you would like to see that maybe I am not going to be doing, feel free to suggest them and we will see if we can do those. But without further ado, let's start out with the very first themed All-Stars competition that I've wanted to do, and that is a Global All-Stars 2 featuring some of my very favorite queens across the entire globe that I've perceived. Now, before you ask, why is this person out there? Why is this person out there? Blah, blah, blah. I do a Drag Race podcast that drops on Sundays. There will be videos dropping on this channel for that podcast. My sibling and I are going through every season, including the international ones. So I am only caught up to whatever season we are doing in the Drag Race timeline. As of right now, when I'm recording, we are still finishing up 2021. When we get into 2022, a lot more international seasons start to present themselves, and so I will be perceiving those as they come. But for now, I only have so many reference points because I've watched all the mainline seasons and a good chunk of internationals, but I've only watched maybe 44 seasons out of the 70-something that currently exist. So let's jump on in this. Let me just introduce everyone really quickly. We've got Adore Delano representing the US. We've got Denim representing Canada's Drag Race. If you've not perceived season 4 of Canada's Drag Race, you gotta get on that because Denim is it. Incredible trans performer, does a lot of really conceptual looks. Caramel, if you have not seen Drag Race UK, you gotta watch that. We've got Art Simone from Drag Race Down Under. We've got Cedergine from Drag Race Holland, since Holland was not represented in Global. I think that Cedergine is probably one of the funniest queens that has ever been on the show. Is so fast, so smart, has really high conceptual looks. We've also got My Little Pony from Holland, season 2. You gotta watch season 1 and 2. They are acid trips of information. We got Inti, who was rumored to have been cast for Global 1, but did not. Inti was self-eliminated from the very first season of España. I hope we do get to see them at some point. We've got Poopy Poison, a psychopath. I love Poopy Poison so much. If I could put all the non-English speakers together and just put them into one place where they could all be crazy together, I think that her and Srimala are like the same coin but on different sides. She's funny, she's good at a lot of stuff, her looks are conceptual. I think Poopy Poison would slay any type of global scenario. Then we've got Godland from Thailand 3, a pretty wretched season, but it produced some great queens. Godland is someone who is literally good at everything and has a global sensibility about her drag, loves Drag Race, and I think that plays into an all-stars scenario. We've got Vanda Miss Joachim, one of my favorite queens probably of all time. Vanda is again one of those queens that's really good at a little bit of everything and is funny, and I think her drag is so big brain, so big budget, and she is a lip sync diva. I fear for this group, if anybody gets in a lip sync with Vanda, she's gonna probably win it, and if the simulator doesn't believe that, I will be furious. Then we've got Marina Summers, snubbed winner from Drag Race UK versus the World Season 2. Marina is so talented, is so incredible and dynamic as a performer. I would love to see her come back for a global. And then from Drag Race Italia, we have Farida Kant, a queen that I just perceived for my Drag Race podcast that drops on Sundays. That episode was gonna drop in a couple of weeks, so you'll be able to hear my thoughts about Farida then. But she really dominated that season, and I was kind of surprised that she didn't win. But at the same time, Electra was so poised and elegant all season and could have won at least 3 challenges. I am excited to see Farida in this situation. So we're just going to do a double premiere, no elim, a lip sync SmackDown as a return format. We're going to do a regular season format where there's a top winner and then there's going to be a bottom 2, then a final 4. So that's the parameters of this, and I have my little notebook over here that I will be making notes on who I think would win, and we're going to compare that at the end of the video. I also have very little interest in reading all of the information here because it is all theoretical, so I will be skipping a lot of the dialogue that's in here. In our very first premiere, we've got Farida Kunt, Adore, Marina, Kara, Inti, and Poopy. For the split premiere, I think that honestly it would probably, because there's no elimination this episode, I think it would be really hard to determine who would not do well. I think based off of what I know about these performers and what they would want to do, I could see a scenario where Adore and Kara would be top 2. I know Adore wanted to do some type of fire breathing scenario if she ever got to go back and do a talent show. I think honestly this would be an Adore win, especially if Rue is judging it. And the decision that the simulator made is that Adore and Marina are the top 2, but Adore flops the lip sync, Marina wins this challenge, and no one goes home. I mean, I could fully see Marina winning. I don't see Adore flopping a lip sync though. Now we move on to the premiere part 2, and I think of everyone that is here, I would see Cedergine doing probably one of the best, and I could see Art also doing the second best, or Denim. I could see one of the two of them, Art or Denim, being up there. But Cedergine, in my opinion, would absolutely clear a talent show. Whatever she did, it would be kind of batshit crazy. This says that the top 2 are Denim and My Little Pony. Based off of My Little Pony's performance in their talent show, I don't know if I see it. Denim, I don't see winning it. I could see it maybe for Denim. Of these two, I mean, My Little Pony's gonna win it, but yeah, I don't know about this one. It's a lovely fantasy. My Little Pony does win the lip sync. Denim is not a great lip syncer, unfortunately. So now let's get on to the first competitive episode. For the Maxi Challenge, the simulator has said they're gonna do a Bitchler show. So acting wise, I think of everyone that's in here, provided that everyone can speak English clearly and there's gonna be no language barriers, I really do think that Poopy would probably win this one. And I think Cedergine would be really high. Ultimately, I think the win would go to Poopy. And I think of this group, I think honestly it would probably be Denim and Inti. And honestly, I think if it was the two of them, Denim would be out in a heartbeat. The simulator, the simulator is saying that Farida wins this one. That's a choice that was made by the simulator. And it says the bottom 2 are Adore and Inti. Again, I see it for Inti. I do not see this for Adore. I think she would be fine. And Inti is out. This is kind of a gag for me. I don't think that's how that would go down. Now we move on to a Rusical challenge. I see Adore being top. I could see Marina being the winner of this. And then of our bottom 2, I'm seeing it for Inti. And I'm also seeing it for Art. And I think honestly, this would be the moment where Inti would be out. I also see, I mean, Denim would be out in this scenario. So we're going to say that she's out. The simulator is saying that Kara won. I can see Kara doing well, but I don't see her winning. And then it says that our bottom 2 are Godland and Cedergine. That also doesn't make sense in my fantasy. Godland is really talented at dancing and sells a vocal performance well. I see Cedergine doing extremely well. She was the one who was called out as the definitive best in that little dance challenge they did in Holland 1. I do not see her doing bad, and I see her camping her performance up so high. This is a very odd bottom 2 here. And it says that Godlin wins the lip sync and Cedergine flopped. So Cedergine is out. That doesn't make sense in my fantasy, and I fully disagree with that. I don't think that either one of them should have been here at all, though. The simulator is wrong. The simulation is wrong. So now we've got the Snatch Game, and this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, so I think that Cedergine would be funny here. I think that she would very clearly be the top 2. I think that Poopy would be funny. Vanda would be funny. I think Adore would be funny. I think a lot of these girls would do quite well. I think based off of the previous Snatch Game, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Art is gonna be bottom once again, just for storyline purposes. And Farida, in my opinion, was not very good in her Snatch game despite winning it. I could see her also not doing well, and I could see this being an out moment for Art and Farida also being in the bottom. As for the winner, I mean, I'm half tempted to say that this would be a Doors moment to be in the top again and win. So I'm gonna go with that. It says that Godlin's doing Nikki Plessin, which is insane. Nikki from Holland is crazy. Godlin would never do that. She's above it all. She would never do that. She doesn't go, oh. The simulator is saying that Poopy wins. I could see that. And it's saying that Godlin and Farida are in the bottom. I agree. I think that this absolutely would be a moment where Farida Cunt would be in the bottom. And it says that Godlin flopped the lip sync to Beginning by RuPaul. This is the exact BS type song they would stick on this global season. It's such an unlip syncable song, and I think Godlin would sashay away in this scenario, but I don't think Godlin would be the worst of the group. I think she would be fine in the same way that she was fine in her Snatch game. Our next challenge is a girl group. This is very exciting to me because we've got some excellent performers here for girl groups. I think that Adore and Cara would do great depending on who they were paired with. I think that Marina is very clearly the winner of this challenge. In my fantasy, no one but Marina wins this. I think Vanda would do really, really, really good too. I think Godlin would do good because Godlin's still here. I think that Poopy would probably be bottom. I don't know. I think Poopy would be fine here. And I think that My Little Pony would be fine. It's hard to say who I think would be in the bottom, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this would be maybe a... God, this is difficult. This one's a hard one. In my fantasy, My Little Pony is probably in the bottom. And Farida is probably out here with Marina winning. The simulator is saying that Vanda wins. And as an apologist, I am so here for Vanda winning. And the bottom two is Art and Adore. Adore being in the bottom for girl groups makes zero sense in the world. Someone make it make sense because the simulator is clearly incorrect. This is crazy that they would do Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. That's absolutely crazy, but Adore would win, Art would be out in here. It's not what lines up with my fantasy though. Next up, we're doing a dance number and it's Black Swan, Why It Gotta Be Black. They would obviously probably do a different dance number, but doing a dance number after girl groups is nuts. Okay, so here's the thing. Vanda would win this one. If it was a ballet dance challenge, Vanda's winning. Godland is going to do incredibly well here. I see Poopy being bottom, and I see Cederjean being bottom. And in this scenario between Cederjean and Poopy, I think that Poopy would clearly be out, with Cederjean being safe, but still bottom. The simulator saying that Cara wins. I could see that being a possibility. And it says the bottom two are Farida and Marina. Now, I don't know what the simulator is smoking. Whatever it is, I want them to pass it over here because it is a spirit of delusion. And that is crazy to think that Marina would be in the bottom for any type of dancing challenge. That's insane to me. And it says that Farida sashays away, which makes sense. Can I just say this track record is nuts so far? Next up, we have a design challenge in the simulator. Adore is the clear bottom here. I mean, there's no way around this. Cara, I don't know how they would do. I think that Cederjean would be fine. I think My Little Pony would be fine. I'm going to say based off the ball challenge that Godlin probably would not do spectacularly here and would probably be the bottom. And I would guess that probably Vanda also would be the bottom because she can't sew. I'm going to say that Godlin is out here to Vanda. If I know my Thailand girls like I think I do. And I think the winner of a design challenge. Oh, but Adore is here too. No, never mind. Okay, I'm changing everything. I think Vanda's in the bottom with Adore. And I honestly, okay, I might be delusionally crazy here, but Vanda would beat Adore in pretty much any lip sync, I think. Adore is the clear bottom here. It's hard to say who I think would be the winner though. I think Marina's got pretty high chances of being up there. But also I could see Cara winning. This one's hard. I don't honestly know who would win based off of who's left here. I think it's possible Cederjean could win this one. It's saying that Denim won. Denim still being here would probably win that challenge. And our bottom two is Cara and My Little Pony. I don't see it going that way with Adore Delano being here. And it says that My Little Pony sashays away. Our next challenge is a drag makeover challenge. I remember Puni not doing well in her makeover. And I remember that Godlin's makeover was really good. Vanda did a bad job in her makeover. I'm gonna probably assume that Vanda would probably be in the bottom once again with my little Puni. And I think this would be Puni's out point, Vanda being in the bottom again. And I could probably see the winner being Godland. It says Marina won this challenge. Could see that in a reality of some kind. And it says that Adora and Vanda are the bottoms. Now in my fantasy, Adora would never win to Vanda. Vanda is such a good lip syncer. Not that Adora is bad, but Vanda is the lip sync diva. And it says that Adora sachets away, which is exactly what I think would happen. Vanda's so good. Next, we've got a ball challenge. God, these challenges are nuts. Vanda is not a good sewer. And so I think that she would probably be in the bottom for the look. I think that Godland would be fine in the first two challenges, but maybe not great in the last one. I could see Marina really killing this and probably taking the win here. I could maybe see Kara struggling in a ball, and if it was between Kara and Vanda, my queen Vanda's out here. So then Marina wins the ball. It says that Vanda goes home. Next, we have the lip sync smackdown, where someone is going to be returning. We've got Inti versus Setter Jean for a lip sync smackdown. Ooh, Setter Jean wins Inti hands down. And that's what happens here. Then we've got Setter Jean versus Godland. I honestly think it could be Godland, even though I would love Setter Jean to win that one. I think it would be Godland. And that's what the simulator thinks too. Then we've got Godland versus Art. I'd rather go Blind by Etta James. I think that Godland would win this one. She does. Next, we've got Godland versus Farida to Va Va Voom by Nicki Minaj. Ooh, this could be interesting with Farida here, but I think it would still be Godland, of course. And it in fact is. I know that this text is a little hard to read, so I'm trying to interpret it all for you. Now we've got Godland versus My Little Puni, and they're going to be doing A Deeper Love by Aretha Franklin. I really love the way that Puni lip syncs, but I think Godland would still take it again. I mean, she's the clear lip sync diva in this group. And the simulator thinks that My Little Puni would win this one. I don't see it for Puni, but hey, pop off. Then we've got Puni versus Adore to I Am What I Am by Gloria Gaynor. I don't know. I think that Adore is a really strong lip syncer, certainly stronger than Puni. I think that Adore would win this one, and it agrees that she would win as well. So then we've got our, what is this, our last lip sync? Our second to last? We're almost near the end of this lip sync smackdown. We've got Adore versus Vanda to the Contortionist by Melanie Martinez. Vanda is going to win this one. There is no doubt in my heart that Vanda wins. And it says that Adore wins. I think that's a lie. I think that's fake. But Adore gets to move on and get into the competition. I think in a realistic scenario of the notes that I have, the one that would most likely be coming back would be Vanda. She would win against Adore any day of the week. So I'm going to have her be the return queen in episode 10. So then our next challenge is just a bring it to the runway, and the category is yellow. That's so weird, man. So it's just a runway challenge? Okay. I mean, Marina is probably going to do good. Godlin's going to do good. Kara's going to do good. I really don't know who would be the bottom of the ones that I still have left. I think for shits and giggles, just because I really don't know what to do with this, I'm going to say that it would probably be, I don't know, Kara and maybe Setter Jean in the bottom. And if it were the two of them lip syncing, this is not a challenge. Kara's gonna win. I think Setter Jean would be out, unfortunately. I think the winner would maybe be Marina. I don't know. How do you even judge something like that? Like bring it to the runway yellow. What? Poopy wins this challenge, and our bottom two are Denim and Adore. Denim would go home in this scenario. The simulator thinks that Denim would win against Adore, and I gotta know, in what universe would Denim win against Adore Delano? It would never happen. That's insane. This is an insane situation here. So we're moving into the finale. Godlin wins Miss Congeniality. I could see that happening. And then our top four in this universe are Marina, Poopy, Kara, and Denim. In my notes, I have Kara as top 4, I have Godlin in top 4, Vanda and Marina in top 4. And this has Marina, Poopy, Kara, and Denim. I think of the top 4 that I have, Marina is the clear winner here, with Kara being a close second. And I think in the Drag Race Simulator, it should be Marina winning this one, if anything is good and just in this world. And then they all have to lip sync to Their Lives by Romantic by Karen White. It says Marina flops the lip sync. Let's not tell lies. And the winner of the entire season, according to the Drag Race Simulator, is Marina. That is correct. I mean, if it was gonna be anyone from this group that is here, it would have been Marina. I think it's very possible in my universe that Kara could have been a strong contender despite her not having any wins and 2 bottom placements, with Marina having 4 wins, no bottoms. In my fantasy, Vanda could win because, you know, I'm such a Vanda apologist, but her being eliminated and coming back, I think cucks that opportunity. So let's look at this track record one last time. I will save it here for the purpose of the video. But I mean, comparing notes, my results are Glenn Close but no cigar, according to the Drag Race Simulator. I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that were made, but I am also not terribly mad about Poopy making it to the finale. I am an apologist for a lot of these queens, including Poopy Poison, so I'm glad that she's here. I think that Marina in no universe wouldn't have won this. What did y'all think about this Drag Race simulation? If y'all like this, I might do more of them just because I think it's fun. It's a fun little way to get away from some of the crazy drag race that's going on and just have a good time. Let me know who would have won in your fantasy of this Global All-Stars 2. And if you want to see more of these, let me know. I will see y'all on the flip.